I'm not easy to figure out, and they've never met in competition before. However, they have been drawn against each other twice, and both times Michelin has had mechanical issues. So those two, Australia and Northern Ireland,
wouldn't be like an Australian to cause a little bit of a stir here in Mondello Park, would
Australian people are never outspoken. They never, they're all real humble or whatever. But
you know what? I am hoping that we see, it doesn't matter where, I'm hoping we see that battle, because Mitch versus McKeever, I mean, we were robbed of it at round 2. I think it's going to happen today.
You think so?
I think so.
I'm looking at a couple of guys that are stepping up. You look at Mark McBurney there, Joe Doyle. They're going to do damage today if they're driving the way they're driving now. But of course, we say all of this in qualifying. Generally, when we get to the battles, none of it matters because something crazy happens and it all goes all over the place, and we end up with a lot of guys in the mix that we wouldn't have expected. And I think today, especially once qualifying is out of the way, each driver knows that every battle lost is literally losing the chance of winning €20,000. So they're not going to hold back today. They're not going to stand back and say, hey, I'm just going to give it a go and see what happens. So from my perspective, it's going to be an incredible, incredible event from start to finish. At the end of this qualifying session, remember, if you're here in attendance, you can head onto the track, check out the cars, check out the builds. Later on today, we're going to do some demos, we're going to have some fun, we're going to give some giveaways to the crowd. We're going to have a lot of fun in the sun here at Mondello Park. If you guys want to pick up some Drift Games merchandise, some Irish Drift Championship merchandise, head down to the shop. It's on Pit Lane. And the guys there have a brand new range for you guys to check out. Some really, really cool stuff. Might as well pick up a memento if you're here for the day. And we are just waiting for our technical team to make sure everything is A-OK and getting us back on track here in qualifying. And of course, obviously there was a meter down there with the internet, and we put €2 in it this morning, and now obviously you got to put another €2 in. I have no idea how it works, so I presume that's exactly how it works. So from our perspective, let's move along. And another thing to talk about is, of course, our next event, which
Punchestown, the return of the Irish Drift Championship to Punchestown for round 4 of the championship. It's going to be a different layout to what we've seen in the past there, Dave, because if you're familiar with the old straight that we had in front of the grandstand, not able to run that layout any longer.
Absolutely, and it's a brand new layout, it's a brand new track, it's something no one's ever seen before in Punchestown. We're bringing a crazy event there, but it's not just about the drifting. It'll put on a huge motor festival as well. We're going to have classic cars, modified cars, show cars. We're going to have speed hunters there, cannonball there. We're going to have every cool car element of Ireland in this one place and one day. So if you guys check it out tomorrow, 9 a.m., we will have Punchestown tickets on sale. There's just 1,800, as far as I'm aware, grandstand tickets available, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go quick, and that's where you want to be. So we're back to the start line. Mike Fitzgerald in the Drift Games RX-7 is ready to take to the circuit once again. Mike Fitzgerald is looking pretty strong out there, Eddie, and you know what, from my perspective right now, needs a big run here if he wants to avoid a top 24 battle. And Fitzy fires it into that first corner. Had a huge impact with a solid steel post in O'Leary, but got that car with Group D back together and made sure that he was here and wouldn't miss out the opportunity of winning his first ever Irish Drift Championship round. And so far, so good from Mike Fitzgerald as he tags through those walls.
Yeah, starts to flirt with the outer line here. Does Mike Fitzgerald, getting up close and personal nicely onto that wall, just pinpoint accuracy, scraping the rear bumper. Almost loses the spoiler there as well. Mike Fitz is gunning for a top 8 position here, loses the bumper. You can just see that bumper trailing, and a big run there from Fitzy as he crosses the line. And you know what, Dave? He has been chasing the dream of a win at the Irish Drift Championship for years. And what would it mean to that young man to take home €20,000? I think there'd be tears.
There would certainly be tears. You'd be cleaning Mike Fitzgerald up with a bucket at the end of the day if you want to, I guarantee you that. So let's see if what Fitzy scores. For you guys joining us in on the live stream, apologize for the break in communication. Actually, the room where all of the servers for the internet overheated. Everything overheated. Never happened before in Ireland, nor would you ever prepare for it in Ireland, ever, to have an overheating situation. But
look at this, Dave. An 81 from Mike Fitzgerald puts him right in the mix in 6th position. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Mike Fitzgerald stepping up his game. A 77 on the first run, an 81 on the second, and he is looking like he means business. We move it along to a man who is also means business here this weekend, Paul McCarthy. McCarthy sits in 9th position.
He needs to improve on his first run just by a couple of points if he wants to avoid that sudden death knockout stage. Let's see what McCarthy's got.
Certainly capable of doing it. A man that you wouldn't want to be facing in a top 24 battle to try and get into the top 16. Doing a good job so far.
Yeah, this car running a 3.2 Evo BMW engine, turbo with 550 horsepower this year. And Paul looking like a contender as always. Look at that outside line, running the rear bumper along that outside exterior wall. Incredible stuff. Paul McCarthy sitting high in the championship, had a wheel come off the car at round 2, which stopped his progress. But right now he's got all 4 wheels on and looking confident, Eddie. Big run from Paul McCarthy.
Yeah, he's a cool customer behind the wheel, and you know, after that disappointment at round 2, and you could see it on his face, you know, just sick that he had to bow out of the competition at that stage and in that manner. But he is back now and ready to go. Is that enough though to get himself into the grade 8 or into the top 8 in qualifying? We await the scores to appear on the screens from the judges. But certainly, Dave, Paul McCarthy looking like a contender here so far this weekend.
Absolutely, and look at this, an 80.3 for Paul McCarthy, puts him into 7th position. Into the top 8 he goes. If it stays as it is, he will avoid that sudden death top 24 later today. On the line, we have got Alan Hines representing the Pro Drift Academy. He is now...
The first time he drove this car, he scored a 72. So he obviously knows it now.
So he's so experienced now. He's driven this track more than anybody in the world, virtually online. But right now he's got to get it done in real time in a car he's never driven before the first run of qualifying. Borrowing Neil Dunn's car, who's out on the track interviewing drivers. It's all going off here at the prize fight as Alan Hines throws it down. Yeah,
Alan looking very confident, and it almost looks like he's just sit in and seems right at home in Neil Dunn's. Oh, look at this, Dave, nailing the circuit. This one is going to be a big score. This is definitely going to be an improvement on his first run if he can keep this going. Alan Hines feathers the throttle nicely now, slows it up as he comes through the final section. Just gets a little bit caught there and just has to get back on the power and crosses the line.
Very good run though, very good.
A little bit sketchy towards the end, but the rest of that run was almost perfection.
It's amazing that he could come out here with a car that he's never driven before, and here we go, it's back in the mix again.
Yeah, 5th place in the championship, and what it would mean to him to take home some valuable championship points.
So we await the score for Alan Hines, which leaves us to look to the line for our final 2 drivers. 77.7 puts Alan Hines into 10th position. 10th position, he'll be in top 24 action later today. Remember, after qualifying, after these next 2 runs, you guys in attendance can make your way onto the track, check out the cars, say hello to the drivers, wish them well for what will be an incredibly challenging day for them today to keep their heads together. But right now, the Thunder from down under, Mitch Larner, scored an 89.3 on his first run. To top qualifying, he has to beat a 91.7. Look at the initiation from Mitch Larner.
Yeah, Larner carrying huge speed through that first section, Dave, nailing the circuit and loving these Zestino tyres that he's now running on the car this weekend. Says they grip up perfectly and suit his driving style. And Larner, you can just hear the feathers that V8, bit of an impact with the wall and settles his line, but he gets back into it now as he exits the teardrop. This is where it gets a little bit tricky on the transition. Rear clip, then a frontal clipping zone, and Larner, you know what, I think without that heavy impact to the wall, that could have gone top.
Yeah, a little bit of an error by hitting the wall a little bit too hard there, but Mitch Larner's in the game. We have a fight on our hands for the rest of this day. Absolutely incredible driving from the Australian. And the wall is checked, nothing moved, but I would imagine Mitch Larner going for that big run. He knew he had to get close to those walls, just got a little too close.
So the score drops in for Larner, an 87.3, not able to improve on his first run, but stays where he is, 2nd position, and very important for him. It means he'll be on the opposite side of the bracket to Dwayne McKeever.
That is what's going to
happen. They can only meet in the final.
Yeah, so if Larner and McKeever were to meet, it would only be in the final today, if that's the way it's going to play out. But there's a lot of work between then and now, or between now and then even. And now Dwayne McKeever, he has nothing left in the rear end of the car after his first run. He tops qualifying, guaranteed. This one is just for fun and just for the fans. Wow, what an entry from Dwayne McKeever.
Yeah, fully 90 degrees into that first corner, and McKeever gets back in it here. And you just hear the pops and the bangs as he shreds those tyres around Link ECU corner. Now he has to slow it down nicely onto the wall, just scraping the rear end, tagging every wall as he comes through the teardrop. McKeever is on for a big one once again. Is there any stopping this young man right now, Dave, as he just annihilates the circuit, representing Driftworks as well this weekend?
You know, there's one word.
Huge applause from the grandstands.
There's one word for it, Eddie. Ridiculous. That was a ridiculous run from Dwayne McKeever. He hit every wall. He even made sure at times that he'd handbrake to hit the wall. He didn't even have any, I'll just go by it, I'll just see how it goes. He
yeah,
made
not about
sure.
the score on that one,
No.
just about the entertainment factor for the fans. And McKeever, well, just looking as unbeatable as ever. Not able to top that 91.7, but he remains and finishes in first position in qualifying.
Yeah, so that's the end of qualifying. Scoreboard will come up and let you know which 24 drivers will compete for €20,000 today. Topping qualifying with a 91.7 is Dwayne McKeever, second position for the Australian Mitch Larner. Mark McBurney, what a showing from him today, third position with an 86.3. Joe Doyle also climbing up into the mix with an 85.3. Fifth position for Chris Burnett, sixth for Mike Fitz, seventh position for Paul McCarthy, and rounding out the top 8 and automatically making it through to the top 16 is Tomas Kiley. Ninth position for Shane O'Sullivan, 10th for Alan Hines in a borrowed car. In 11th position, Brian Egan in the team dealt with R32. Alan O'Loughlin jumps into 12th position. Pete Nielsen rounds it out in 13th position. Paul Conlon in 14th. Charlie Geary gets 15th position. Kevin Quinn in 16th. 17th position for Kieran Casey. 18th for Stuart Gilmore. 19th for Dean Martin, making it up into the mix. 20th for Brendan Stone in the Drift Taxi. 21st position for Tomas Falvey, and the Dream Weekend continues for him. 22nd position for David Hobbs. 23rd position for Danny O'Callaghan, and unfortunately going up against Dwayne McKeever, or rather in the top 24, I'm not sure who he's going up against, but it's Sultan Al-Qasimi in 24th position, creeping in there in the HGK Arab fighter, as he's now called it. He's up against Shane O'Sullivan in the battles later on. It's going to be pretty intense. For you guys here in attendance, we're going to roll all of our cars down onto the track and let you get up close and personal with the drivers and their machinery here in the sunshine in Mondello. For you guys at home, you can join us later on where we go for top 24 sudden death, where 24 drivers will become 16, and then at 16 main event, top 16, one will be taking home €20,000. If you don't want to take your eyes off it, we're back soon for me and Eddie. We'll see you guys later in the day.
There's a reason that half the paddock, if not more here, runs Samco hose, and that's that nobody wants to be let down by a split water hose or a split boost hose. And with Samco, there's nothing to worry about.
With using these hoses, we get the reliability, they never burst, we can just rely on them, and that's all we need.
Half of the grid are running Samco hoses in their cars, and there's a reason for that. They're the best in the business.
I'm so happy to be running Samco hoses now, because in the past we have run other manufacturers' hoses and we have had the intercooler pipes collapsing, which obviously when you're under massive pressure on track, you have to be fully supportive and reliant on your hoses.
So a lot of people ask us over the years, you know, what hoses you run. Personally, I can't think of anything better than Samco. They do what they say on the tin, they work, they don't come loose, they don't fail on you, they don't pop. You can't beat Samco.
I've chosen to use VP racing fuel since I was a teenager racing motocross, which was 21 years ago now.
I've been using VP racing fuel for years, basically ever since I built my first race car, and you want to get that consistent fuel, it was VP through and through.
Absolutely,
right from the beginning.
That's the brand. Yeah, I've been using VP probably since I was 10 years old racing dirt bikes. There's so many different VP racing fuels to choose from. One of the best go-tos is definitely C16.
So we use C16 in our Formula Drift cars.
I run C16 in all my cars, outside of this one here. The two race cars here at the track, we run the C85.
And my supercharged Coyote-powered Mustang that's over in Europe, we use MS-109.
And a Ferrari car, I actually run MS-109.
VP has been making racing fuel for 43 years. They're the official fuel of multiple top series globally. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what fuel we need, it's always consistent, it's always perfect and exactly what we're expecting and our tuners expecting. They support myself, my Drift Alliance bros, and for that, I'm extremely thankful. Keep making amazing fuels, and we'll keep out there having fun.
On August 11th and 12th, the Irish Motor Festival touches down in Punchestown Racecourse, County Kildare. Celebrating all things motoring, the festival brings exotic cars, modified cars, and classic cars together under one roof, alongside the thrill of the Irish Drift Championship. Not only that, but there'll be plenty of trade and food stalls to make your way around, as well as drift car passenger rides, live entertainment, and lots more for the whole family to enjoy. Discounted early bird tickets and general admission tickets are on sale 9 a.m. Monday. Grandstand tickets are limited, so head on over to www.irishmotorfestival.com for all further event information. On August 11th and 12th, the Irish Motor Festival touches down in Punchestown Racecourse, County Kildare. Celebrating all things motoring, the festival brings exotic cars, modified cars, and classic